Welcome to Palace Insider, where secrets spill fast and the drama never sleeps. Meghan Markle just faced a jaw-dropping public rejection that's got her absolutely furious.
Meghan Markle crashed Valentino Garavani's funeral in Rome uninvited, with entourage and big camera crew to film for her image rehab. Security booted her fast. No respect for the dead, just her brand. Utterly classless.
While Prince Harry was breaking down in a tense London courtroom, getting scolded not once but 3 times by a judge, Meghan was busy running her own secret mission. Sources say she was frantically calling top fashion insiders, desperate to land an invite to the legendary Valentino's funeral in Rome, but she got shut down hard. The rejection wasn't quiet either, and now Hollywood insiders are spilling all the tea about her frantic operation. This wasn't just about a funeral. It was about Meghan's entire post-royal strategy falling apart in real time.
Everyone's talking about how Meghan Markle didn't get an invite to the private funeral in Rome. That, my friends, is the wrong story. The real story is that her private outreach became public. And that only happens when the room wants you exposed and not included, which is bad news for Meghan Markle.
On January 19th, 2026, the fashion world mourned a legend as Valentino Garavani passed away in Rome at age 93. But within hours, Meghan reportedly kicked into overdrive. Hollywood insider Rob Shooter claimed Meghan quietly reached out to Valentino's inner circle, hoping to secure a seat among the fashion elite. Think about that. A legend had just passed, and Meghan's first move wasn't sympathy, it was chasing status and spotlight. What a move.
Meghan Markle is in California with her wanting to be in the UK husband, trying to get back to the UK. But what is so alarming to me is this how Meghan continues to want to create these ripples in these other areas and parts of the world as she did a few days ago.
The funeral, held on Friday, January 23rd, at the breathtaking Basilica Santa Maria degli Demari in Rome, was a scene straight out of a high society movie. The guest list was beyond elite. Tom Ford, Donatella Versace, Anna Wintour, Anne Hathaway, Elizabeth Hurley, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, and over 10,000 fans lined up for the public viewing. The fashion world stood still, and Meghan wanted in, badly. Sources say she was absolutely determined, moving with full intent and precision. But here's the twist. Meghan has never attended a single Valentino runway show. She's never been part of that inner circle. Yes, she's worn his pieces before, but so have millions of women. This wasn't about admiration. It was about access, about getting snapped next to Anna Wintour and Donatella Versace. This was high-stakes networking, and she thought she could pull it off again.
It is a lot of fun to see so much of the royal family and in such a strategic way to where we're learning a little bit more about them, but really their mission is to get these important causes out there.
Back in October 2025, she crashed Paris Fashion Week. Bold move. She popped up at the Balenciaga show, and creative director Pierpaolo Piccioli himself confirmed she reached out and begged to get in. So when Valentino's funeral came around, Meghan tried the same trick, leaning on her old connection with Piccioli, who led the brand from 2008 to 2024. But this time, the fashion elite slammed the door shut, and Radar Online says Meghan didn't just fail quietly, she made headlines for it. Meghan was publicly rejected. No invites, no red carpet, nothing.
We had to be creative, but today you click your fingers and you've got all these platforms beating a path to the doorway of Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace saying, yeah, we'll make it.
The grand funeral on January 23rd carried on without her anywhere in sight. Anne Hathaway delivered a touching, heartfelt tribute, while Tom Ford, Donatella Versace, Anna Wintour, and Elizabeth Hurley all showed up in style. The A-list lineup sparkled, but Meghan's empty seats said it all. Thanks to a few spicy leaks, the world soon saw her frantic phone campaign unravel for everyone to see. Meanwhile, across the channel in London, Harry was deep in his own storm. From January 21st to 22nd, he was testifying in court for his lawsuit against a major newspaper. It was brutal. The case covered alleged privacy violations and phone hacking from 2001 to 2013. Years before Meghan ever came into the picture. But things got messy fast. The courtroom tension spiked when Harry started clashing with defense lawyer Anthony White. Justice Matthew Nicklin had to step in several times, finally saying, "You're doing what lots of litigants do. You tend to argue back. You don't have to bear the burden of arguing the case today. In other words, stop arguing and just answer the questions." But Harry couldn't help himself. He kept spiraling into wild tangents, and the courtroom was buzzing with disbelief. Then the courtroom chaos went next level. And it was wild. This case had nothing to do with Meghan, since the articles in question were written years before she even met Harry. Yet there he was, breaking down on the stand, his voice cracking and eyes glassy with emotion. He told the court, "They continue to come after me. They have made my wife's life an absolute misery." Wait, what? Why bring Meghan into this? In a trial about events that happened long before she was part of his world, Harry still couldn't escape her shadow. Even in court, it's like Meghan's story takes center stage.
I remember going to the press conference when the restoration of the castle was finished, and it was announced that it had been done within the budget, within the time. The press was so disappointed.
He went on to claim that none of his friends ever leaked anything to the press, swearing his circle was solid and that reporters like Katie Nicholl and Rebecca English had no real sources. But come on, the photos tell a totally different story. Shots of Harry hugging Rebecca English at polo matches don't exactly scream no connection. Katie Nicholl's been covering high-profile royals for years with legit access. So this defense just didn't add up. The hypocrisy was glaring. Harry wrote a 400-page memoir spilling every private detail, from family secrets to text messages, drama-filled parties, and star-studded nights, all for millions. He sat down with Oprah, filmed a 6-hour Netflix special, and still turned around claiming the media exploited him. Neither the judge nor the public was buying it. And the biggest shocker? Meghan didn't even bother flying to London to stand by him through the storm, leaving Harry to face the fire all alone.
Hard to tell you why I cannot stand Meghan Markle so much. After all, there are a lot of know-nothing, attention-seeking former actresses in this world. Part of it is because I do love the UK so much, and I think we effectively exported our worst cultural asset to hurt their royal family. And the other part of it, though, is the way that the media has always lapped up her obviously false claims and fed into her delusions of grandeur, which culminated in her and her husband, Prince Harry.
While Harry was drowning in courtroom drama, Meghan was 5,000 miles away in California, glued to her phone, making desperate calls about a funeral. That says everything about where her priorities really are. If you've been watching this whole saga unfold, none of this will shock you. Royal biographer Tom Bower saw it coming years ago. He's the author of Revenge, Meghan, Harry, and the War Between the Windsors, and he's got receipts. Real ones. Bower interviewed over 80 people who either knew or worked closely with Meghan, and he's been consistent about one thing: she's a master social climber.
They have no idea where this came from. And as I told you and your
I bet it came from Meghan's team. I bet you anything it came from Meghan's team. Come on.
According to Bower, Meghan's obsession isn't with legacy or art. It's with access. She craves being seen next to the elite, but doesn't quite have the talent to earn that spot. The Valentino funeral fiasco proved it in real time. Insiders say the fashion world caught her trying to use a legend's passing for a photo opportunity, and they shut her down fast. Bower didn't hold back either. He said bluntly, "She's not talented." Harsh words. But that quote's his, not mine. And apparently, even Netflix figured it out early. Within 6 months of working with her, execs reportedly realized the spark wasn't there. Despite massive budgets, top producers, and total creative control, nothing truly compelling came out. As Bower put it, all successful lifestyle personalities share one thing: authenticity. People believe them, and that's something Meghan just can't fake. Everything about Meghan, according to Tom Bower, is perfectly calculated and endlessly rehearsed. He says nothing about her feels spontaneous. And in today's world, people can spot fake energy instantly.
Prince Harry nearly broke down in tears in court today, weeping about Meghan Markle's misery. And he was told to stop arguing back by the judge. Well, Prince Harry was giving evidence in his privacy claim against the publisher of the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday in the High Court.
Bower compares her to icons who built their legacies on authenticity. Martha Stewart, for example, created an empire from her own hard work, her own recipes, her own personality. She's real. Meghan, on the other hand, comes off as manufactured, always chasing access instead of respect. Bauer points to women like Ina Garten, who started small with a humble specialty food shop in the Hamptons and turned it into a lifestyle brand built on warmth and credibility. And even Gwyneth Paltrow, who gets roasted nonstop for being out of touch, at least has a clear personality. People might love or hate her, but she's herself. Meghan? She's acting out a role, pretending to be something she's not, and people can see right through it.
Meghan Markle has always wanted to be an A-lister. Not adjacent, not inspired by. She wants to be on the inside. But she genuinely believed that marrying into royalty meant that she could simply just inherit elite status and that everybody would just swing the door open for her.
Bauer warned everyone about this years ago. He said Meghan would never truly make it in Hollywood because she's missing the one thing no PR team or stylist can create: genuine charisma. According to him, she's performing all the time, but the camera doesn't lie. Viewers can tell when someone's not being real. He didn't stop there. Bauer also claimed that Harry has become completely dependent on Meghan, saying he can't make a single decision without running it by her first. And honestly, that courtroom scene proved him right. Harry was supposed to focus on a case that had zero to do with Meghan, yet somehow he made it all about her feelings. It was exactly what Bauer predicted years earlier, and the parallels were almost eerie. And when it comes to Netflix, Bauer's predictions hit every mark. He said the streaming giant would eventually cut ties once they realized the content just wasn't connecting with audiences. He even warned that Meghan's upcoming cooking show would flop big time. And he wasn't wrong. When it finally premiered, it barely made a ripple. Love, Meghan ranked a staggering 1,217 on Netflix, out of everything on the platform. Only around 2 million views in 4 whole months. For someone chasing the spotlight, that's a brutal reality check. Even random YouTube channels with 0 celebrity names pull in more views than Meghan's show, and that's every single month. Her so-called holiday special didn't fare any better either, ranking a pitiful 1,020th place on Netflix. That's shockingly low for someone constantly marketed as having global appeal. Insiders say Netflix execs realized within just 6 months that the $100 million deal was a major mistake. They gave her all the tools, a dream team of producers, creative freedom, endless promotion, and still, she couldn't deliver content people actually wanted to watch. The truth? Viewers found her dull. She came across as stiff, overly polished, and impossible to relate to. Tom Bauer summed it up perfectly. She's performing, not living. Every move looks scripted. Every line feels rehearsed. And just like he predicted, the Paris Fashion Week fiasco only made things worse, though even Bauer probably didn't expect that level of tone-deaf behavior. In October 2025, Meghan posted a video of herself cruising through Paris at night, showing off the glittering bridges, designer outfits, and her luxe car interior. Pure social media spectacle. She lounged in the seat, feet up, acting carefree for the camera. But the clip sparked instant outrage when people noticed where she was. Near the Alma Tunnel, the very spot where Princess Diana lost her life in 1997 while being chased by paparazzi. The public couldn't believe it. For many, it felt like a shocking display of insensitivity, as if Meghan turned a tragedy into a backdrop for her personal highlight reel. Sources claimed Prince William was furious, and honestly, who could blame him? That tunnel isn't just any tourist spot. It's a place marked by grief and memory. Tom Bauer didn't mince words about it either. He said the Paris video revealed Meghan's total lack of self-awareness. To him, it proved she doesn't truly understand or respect the royal institution she married into. Everything she does, Bauer argues, is about image and optics, not meaning or legacy. Every post, every photo, every appearance feels like another staged performance, chasing attention instead of authenticity. So, what's next for Meghan and Harry? According to Tom Bauer, things are about to take a very dark turn, and fast. He says the couple could be staring straight into financial collapse. Reports claim they've blown through nearly $38 million on failed business ventures, canceled deals, and overpriced projects that went nowhere. Their Montecito mansion alone carries a massive mortgage. Their daily lifestyle burns through cash like wildfire, and the money, Well, it's running out quick. And the legal drama? It's no small matter. If Harry loses his ongoing case against the Daily Mail, insiders warn he could be ordered to pay the publisher's legal fees, potentially tens of millions of pounds. That kind of financial blow could push them right to the edge, maybe even into bankruptcy. Bauer says this isn't bad luck. It's the fallout from poor planning, vanity projects, and the obsession with being famous instead of being credible. But the trouble doesn't end there. Bauer also hints at growing marriage problems. Rumors suggest Harry's been quietly eyeing some sort of reconciliation with his UK roots, possibly even reconnecting with family members behind the scenes. That's exactly what Bauer predicted years ago, that cracks would start showing once the fame faded and the pressure kicked in. And sure enough, everything seems to be unfolding just as he said it would. He argues that Meghan and Harry are finally learning what the real elite already know. Success isn't about flashy photos, designer outfits, or paparazzi moments. It's about talent, authenticity, and knowing how to play the long game. But even with everything falling apart around them, Meghan refuses to step out of the spotlight. Insiders say she's still laser-focused on image, luxury, and making sure the cameras catch her in just the right angles at all the right places. While others in Hollywood are grinding, building careers from skill and substance, Meghan's every move still feels staged, curated for headlines, not heart. Just look at her social media stunts. Each one seems perfectly timed to stir buzz and keep her name trending. It's like she's addicted to the performance, no matter how much reality is crumbling behind the curtain. Sources close to Meghan say she micromanages everything, every post, every outfit, every camera angle, all carefully calculated for maximum effect. But the problem? It all feels too perfect, too rehearsed, too forced. Audiences today can spot a performance from miles away, and that's exactly why her projects keep flopping. No matter how much money you throw at an image, you can't fake authenticity. And that's the one thing Meghan hasn't mastered. And poor Harry, he's stuck right in the middle of it all. Tom Bauer said years ago that Meghan's influence over him was total, and it's playing out exactly like he warned. Every major decision, every public appearance, every business move, Harry reportedly runs by her first. That courtroom meltdown? Proof in real time. He turned a serious privacy case about himself into another emotional showcase for Meghan's struggles. Even when it wasn't about her, somehow, it became about her. Behind the scenes, their Hollywood dreams aren't faring any better. Sources say they've burned through tens of millions trying to make their production company and media ventures take off. But nothing stuck. Scripts shelved, deals canceled, ideas scrapped. Their Montecito lifestyle doesn't help either. That mansion alone costs a fortune to maintain, plus luxury cars, private jets, glamorous events, and a full staff. It's a never-ending spending spree, and the income just isn't matching up. Even in the fashion world, Meghan's struggle is obvious. She's tried again and again to squeeze into elite circles, but insiders whisper that she's still seen as an outsider. Every attempt to network or charm her way in reportedly backfires. Her efforts to crash high-profile gatherings have left her frustrated, exposed, and quietly talked about by the very people she wants to impress. While other celebrities climb their way up through talent, work ethic, or charisma, Meghan seems to rely entirely on optics. But optics can only carry you so far before the cracks show, and now they're starting to widen fast. Her public image, once carefully polished, is beginning to fall apart. Even her most loyal fans are noticing a pattern. The rehearsed smiles, the overly staged moments, the desperate need for validation in every frame. Critics are calling it what it looks like, a performance that's losing its audience, one post at a time. Tom Bauer's longtime warnings about Meghan's lack of genuine charisma are proving more accurate than ever, and we're watching it unfold in real time. Unlike true lifestyle icons who connect effortlessly with audiences, Meghan's public persona feels more like a scripted act than a reflection of who she really is. Every word, every gesture, every outfit choice seems choreographed, and it's costing her big time. Sources say even her smaller projects, the ones meant to rebuild her brand quietly, have fallen flat. Executives and producers reportedly gave her everything: generous budgets, total creative freedom, and industry support. But the outcome? Always the same: disappointing numbers. Ratings flop, Engagement nosedives, and social media buzz fades just days after each launch. The once hyped narrative of global appeal is starting to crumble fast. At the heart of it, insiders say the issue isn't money, connections, or even bad luck. It's substance. Meghan keeps missing that key ingredient that separates stars who last from those who fizzle out. You can't buy sincerity or force a real connection, and that's exactly where she continues to stumble. Meanwhile, things at home aren't any smoother. Behind the luxury gates of Montecito, Harry and Meghan are reportedly facing rising tension and pressure from every direction. Legal battles dragging on, projects falling apart, and public criticism coming faster than their team can spin it. Even their closest allies are said to be quietly distancing themselves, unsure where the couple's empire is headed next. Industry insiders are warning that if they don't course correct soon, the fallout could be brutal. Financially, professionally, and personally. Their reputation is wobbling, their influence fading, and their credibility hanging by a thread. In the ruthless world of Hollywood and high society, image and ambition can only take you so far. Without authenticity, consistency, and the ability to connect on a real human level, even millions of dollars and non-stop media attention can't save you. Meghan and Harry are learning that the hard way, and according to those watching closely, this story isn't over yet. It's only getting more dramatic. Harry's looking back toward his roots, hoping to mend bridges with his family. But Meghan's gaze is fixed straight on the Hollywood spotlight. She's chasing Fashion Week invites, red carpet appearances, and elite social events, desperate to cement her place among the A-list crowd. But here's the kicker. Those goals couldn't be more incompatible. Tom Bauer called it years ago, saying, "The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference." And guess what? We've officially reached that point. People aren't angry anymore. They're simply over it. The public's fascination has cooled, replaced by quiet disinterest. The endless drama that once kept headlines buzzing now just feels repetitive. Meghan's playbook, the image control, the staged appearances, the attention-grabbing stunts, it's all become predictable. Let's zoom out for a second and look at how we got here. Meghan tried to leverage a legendary designer's passing to elevate her own status, making frantic calls to insiders, trying to secure a seat at Valentino's funeral. But the fashion world saw through it immediately and slammed the door shut. What was meant to be a high society power move ended up as a public humiliation, and they haven't forgotten it. Meanwhile, Harry's situation wasn't much better. In court, he crumbled under pressure, got sternly scolded by a judge, and broke down emotionally, once again making his wife the focus of a case that had nothing to do with her. Every step, every slip, everything Bauer predicted has been unfolding exactly as he said it would. Netflix dropped her projects. Spotify axed their podcast. The fashion world keeps rejecting her. Hollywood, once intrigued, has moved on to fresher faces and real talent. It's a pattern that's impossible to ignore. Meghan keeps inviting herself to elite spaces, from Paris Fashion Week to Valentino's funeral, only to end up turned away again and again. According to insiders, this cycle of rejection has left her frustrated and restless, but she won't stop chasing that validation. And that's the real issue. Harry and Meghan aren't on the same path anymore. He reportedly dreams of reconciling with his family, and maybe even spending more time back in the UK. She, on the other hand, is fixated on Hollywood's glitz, luxury, and social prestige. Two different worlds, two clashing dreams, and the tension between them is only growing louder. Those goals just don't align, and the tension between Harry and Meghan is only getting worse. Tom Bauer's been warning us for years that this marriage was on a direct path to crisis, and every single week, his predictions keep proving him right. None of this is guesswork. He called it all the Netflix fallout, the Hollywood rejection, and how Americans would eventually grow tired of the endless victim narrative. And now, the Valentino funeral fiasco is just the latest piece of proof that Meghan's Hollywood dream is flatlining right before our eyes. Her much-hyped cooking show bombed. Netflix isn't renewing her deals. The fashion elite won't let her into their exclusive circles. And now? She's reportedly begging for funeral invitations. It doesn't get more desperate than that. Meanwhile, Harry's legal battles are turning into full-blown public spectacles. He's clashing with judges, breaking down in court, and once again centering everything around Meghan, looking totally lost in the process. Internationally, their reputation has gone from glamorous to downright toxic. Brands don't want to collaborate, studios aren't calling, and even A-list circles are quietly distancing themselves. The question isn't if they'll fail anymore. It's how much worse things can get before they finally fade from the spotlight altogether. Every new project, every media stunt, every attempt to stay relevant just reinforces the same narrative. Harry and Meghan are spinning toward irrelevance faster than anyone expected. It's wild to think how far this has fallen, from royal glamour to total Hollywood burnout. And as Bauer himself said, this was never about bad luck. It was about bad choices, and now the consequences are coming due in full view of the world. So what do you think? Are we witnessing a marriage breaking apart in real time? Is this the slow-motion collapse of a Hollywood fantasy gone wrong? One thing's for sure. Tom Bauer saw this storm coming long before anyone else, and reality keeps proving him right, step by step. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the latest royal chaos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more explosive updates. See you in the next video. You won't believe what's coming next.